piggyback off of what Perk added because it's incredibly important. Nothing was made up. The information that emanated about Zion Williamson, yeah, it came from inside the organization. It came from people even closer than that to Zion Williamson. I'm going to leave it at that. People that called up and encouraged us to get in his ass because of some of the things that he was doing. You got people that are alcoholics. You got people that are drug addicts and stuff like that. What was Zion's problem? Food addict. The joke was everybody in New Orleans that cooked. It could be everybody from a restaurant, a chef, to your grandmama, all right? Anybody that cooked knew about Zion Williamson, and he knew them. They were on a first-name basis because that brother ate a lot, okay? You even had rumors, and literally, I'm here thinking it was a joke, and somebody told me to go on the air and point out how he got busted hiding food under his bed. This is the kind of stuff that was happening.
That was yesterday, talking about Zion Williamson and how far he's come is really how the conversation started. He played in 46 games so far this season. That's the third most he's played in his career. In fact, at one point, he had played in 35 straight games, which was the longest of his career. He's been injury prone and unavailable. We knew that. But the Pelicans took exception to our discussion and posted this for Stephen A. on social media.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it.
Okay, so Stephen A., you saw it. The floor is yours. I'm going to get up out of the way. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, for the New Orleans Pelicans. First of all, I want to say nothing about what I'm about to say is really directed at the players. Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, Zion Williamson. It's got nothing to do with y'all. It certainly has nothing to do with the great Joe Dumars. The only good thing they've done in recent memory, as far as I'm concerned, was hiring that man. Whatever the media department is, social media department, this is directed at y'all. First of all, get your facts straight. 1.5 points, Winston-Salem State, it was actually less than that. I cracked my kneecap in half. I never played, okay? But I got a basketball scholarship that paid for my education. I'll go back to that later. When we sit up there and we talk about these old videos and they try to troll me, you know, I mean, you didn't see me hanging with Straight Shooter? I mean, the lethal shooter himself. Did you show what I was doing when I shot the basketball then? You're going to just bring up an air ball, a bunch of air balls, by the way, that I shot with James Harden years ago in a shirt and tie, instead of pointing out, we know, all the jump shots that I've made in recent memory. We can forget that as well. Because you know what? I'm 58 years old, and I'm not trying to play, but I know what I can do, and I know what I've done. Here's the thing that really annoys me about the Pelicans. We heighten our level of sensitivity because I pointed out something about the star on your team and the franchise. And you want to use that as an opportunity to get at me. Very, very bad mistake on your part, because as a franchise, you don't have the credentials. You just don't. But before I even get into that, let me say this, and I want to say this because it's very, very important to the American people that you're watching. You left out a couple of other things. You saw me boxing with a rotator cuff over a decade ago. I looked like trash. You saw me throwing out the first pitch. That was a choke job on my part. Definitely a choke job, all right? You also showed that video. Did you notice that nothing's been deleted? You could scrape that stuff off of Google and stuff like that. Do you notice that no effort has been made? Because I own what I do, and I own what I can't do, and I own what I don't do. And that's the difference between me and y'all. You left something out. And you know what you left out? You left out the fact that I was in the 4th grade and I got left back because I had a 1st grade reading level. And here I am on national television after graduating from an HBCU, going up against Hall of Famers all the time who play professional sports, elite journalists in this business, and me coming from an HBCU is still doing what I'm doing. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but come April, First Take will have been #1 for 14 straight years. 14 straight years. In other words, we win. And on a personal level, Did you remember, did you bring up how, excuse me, I was in bad shape? Did you see that nasty video of me skinny with a pot belly, about 208 pounds, with a cholesterol level over 300, with body fat hovering around 30%? That is not how I look now. That is not how I feel now. I'm 58 years of age, feeling like I'm going on 30. I'm in the best health in my life. Hell, I might even take off a shirt for a scene on the soap operas. That's how good I'm looking. That's how good I'm feeling. That's my life. And at the age of 58, I'm ascending. I'm moving up, okay? In other words, I'm sort of like the American dream. Poor, desolate, struggling, starving. Through the grace of God, the most wonderful mother on the planet, and an individual that stepped up and worked my ass off, I'm at the top of the heap in this profession and getting paid for it, by the way. And by the way, my popularity is more than anybody you got on your team outside of Zion Williamson. Again, not throwing any shade on the players, just giving you facts. Why am I bringing all of these things up, New Orleans Pelicans? Because you can't about you. We are approaching the tail end of the season. We are in the month of March. Nearly 65 games have been played, and you're still searching for your 20th victory. Y'all are horrible. You've been horrible. Not the city with those wonderful fans, not the city with those wonderful restaurants, not the city with those wonderful people, just the organization that refuses to represent them the way that they should be represented, because y'all have been trash. That is the reality of the situation. Where am I getting this from? Allow me to count the ways. You got your research, I got mine. Worth about $3.55 billion right now. That ranks 29th out of 30 teams in the NBA. The only team valued to be less than y'all, at least according to Forbes magazine, is the Memphis Grizzlies, okay? That's number one. Let's go to your stuff on the basketball court. This is your 24th year in the NBA. You used to be the Hornets. Now you're the Pelicans. That's two nicknames. That's how many playoff series victories you have in your career in the National Basketball Association. 2 in 24 years. Damn. I'm not finished. Regular season ranks 23rd of 30 NBA teams since 2002, 2003. In the month of February, not March, not April, in the month of February, just this past month, you clinched your 15th losing season in 24 years. In 24 years, you've had one season of winning 50 or more games. One. That's it. I'm not finished. 9 playoff berths in 24 years. 2 playoff series victories, just as many as you have nicknames. You've never been to a conference finals in the franchise's history. That means you've never been to an NBA finals in the franchise history. In 24 years, only 5 teams have never been to an NBA finals. The Clippers, the Timberwolves, the Hornets, the Grizzlies, and you. In that same span, conference finals, only the Hornets and you have never been to a conference finals. But you got the time to clap back at me. Well, if you're going to do that, at least tell America why. It's the only thing that can make you relevant. You and your social media department felt the need to come back at me and clap back at me because you want to make a statement. You want notoriety. You want publicity. You want to be noticed. Damn it, half the world forgets you have a basketball team. That's how bad y'all have been. Now, you're on the come up because Joe Dumars a winner. And he's going to find a way to turn this damn thing around. And Zion Williamson, a brother's rooting for you. This is not directed towards you. Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, none of y'all towards the players. I'm talking strictly to your social media department and their pathetic asses. Could you find a basketball reason to be relevant? Could you find a basketball reason to remind us why you should exist? Could you find a basketball reason to remind us why we should care? Could you find a basketball reason to justify charging patrons in the city of New Orleans who you should be giving refunds to because of the product that y'all have put on the floor the last couple of years? Last 8 years, you've been in the playoffs twice. You've been bounced out in the first round each time. But you got an attitude with me and you want to troll me, feel free. Because I'm going to remind you again. I'm 58. I look pretty good. I feel even better. And I can shoot. But I don't get paid to do that. I get paid to do this. Stephen A. Smith, commentator on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith, radio host on Sirius XM, not just with a sports show, but a political show. Stephen A. Smith owning my own YouTube channel. Stephen A. Smith owning my own production company, producing scripted and unscripted content and looking for young brothers and sisters to bring on board under my umbrella so we can create something special moving forward. That's what I'm doing. Little snot-nosed, skinny-ass black kid growing up poor in the streets of Hollis, Queens, New York City has risen to this level. I am the American dream. Me and millions of others, but I'm one of them. You guys have been an American nightmare to basketball fans all over the place because y'all don't seem to know what the hell y'all doing, at least until Joe Dumars got there. And give some love to Willie Green, too, who I thought did a decent job for a few years. At the end of the day, trolling on social media, that's all you've got? Keep it going. Keep it going. Throw more stuff out there about me for all I care. Don't worry, I won't seek revenge. I'll just do what I'm doing right now, telling the truth and spewing a reality about your organization. And the only thing worse than your basketball has been your social media department. Trying to get clicks, but at what price? You wanted my attention. You got it. I got more. I'm just not going to waste our viewers' time by talking about a franchise struggling to be relevant. Again, Joe Dumars is in the house. Times will get better. But your social media team, get a life. Please, pretty please. Please don't make me have to do this again. I really don't want to. There's a lot of ammunition here. It really, really is. Please, have a nice day.
Okay, you get some water. Thank you, Stephen A. Speaking of the Pelicans, they played the Lakers last night. Luka and LeBron